Okay, in this video, I'm going over what are Google Ads daily budgets and how much should you spend in your Google Ads. So as you can see, I'm about to launch a campaign here, test campaign, just for the sake of this video. And you can see that Google's recommending me this average daily budget, which is $64, right? Usually it's much higher than you should actually be doing it, especially from a new account and a new campaign with no previous data on your Google Ads. So what I always recommend is to start off with a minimum of $33 a day if you're in Australia. So that would equal to around $1,000 a month. And I know some of you guys are super keen and you want to get more customers and you want to spend a lot of money. Really depends like what your threshold of risk is. And if you have any previous data, but usually for a new account, I would just suggest starting at $33 a day. That way, you're not overspending. You can monitor the ads. You get a couple clicks, couple conversions a day at most. Nothing crazy, right? Obviously, if you have data already, then use that data to spend more. But as you can see, the recommended daily budget here is just what Google thinks based on other Google accounts and search traffic and clicks and impressions and things like that. But there's no real indicator of how well your campaign will do. And the other thing with budgets is, depending if there's enough search traffic and impressions, it's you spending $200 a day is no different to you spending $33 a day for, what's the math, 6 days, right? Like we're still going to get somewhat of the same result unless you're targeting a super small, dense area where there's not enough people searching, right? So usually you'd set a custom budget here and go, if your budget, I usually tell people to have a budget for a month and then just divide that by 30 days in the month on average, right? So if it's $1,000, we go 33. If it's $2,000 a month, it'd be like that. If you're spending $3,000 a month, then we'd spend $100 a day, right? And then another thing to note here, let's say you're spending $33 a day. This is what Google thinks the cost per conversion will be. I wouldn't look at this one bit because a conversion can literally mean anything. And then weekly cost here is like on average, how much is it going to cost you? So if I do some math, 33 times 7, yeah, that equals that weekly cost. And yeah, Google will say like, oh, your budget is lower than other people's budget, which may affect performance, right? Try raising it to this. You also need to understand that it's in Google's best interest to get you to spend more money. So in a way, that means they want you to spend as much money and test Google Ads. And when you think it's not working, then they have milked you for as much money as possible. So instead, what we want to do is just stay disciplined to keep our budget low and go with $33 a day usually. And yeah, once we start getting clicks and start getting some proof of concept, then we can start raising the budget. But don't always listen to this. And the other thing as well is Google bills you. There's different ways Google bill you. One is through a threshold, like every $100 you spend, you get billed $100, or it could just be whatever, right? And that could be some days, although you set your budget at $33 a day, it averages to this a week, right? So one day you might spend upwards of $50, and then another day you might spend $15, right? So yeah, I do a daily budget. Don't use the campaign total budget because ideally you want to keep this ongoing, right? Unless you're doing some Black Friday launch or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the budget. So that's it for the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.